Good morning, everybody. Jayy here with another War of the Visions video, and today we have a unit preview, should you pull, should you save. We've got Garval, we've got Elsirelle, I have no idea if I said those names right, Sleepy Girl and Magic Punching Guy. They're coming out today, right? As this video posts, these units will be coming available. As of filming this, I don't know what the banners look like. So keep that in your minds when I'm thinking about, am I going to pull for them or not? Personally, I'll tell you right now, I am going to go for at least one of them, if not both, because I anticipate getting some decent banners. Tune into the stream today to, see those pulls, and I'll post that video tomorrow, of course. So let's start talking about the units, right? We need to get into this. I want to start with, our sleepy girl here, Elsirelle, however you say it. So, who does she compare to, and how is she unique? Because I think she is both of those things, if that makes sense. I'm going to put her base stats, and I'm going to put Ruinstern's base stats on the screen. And what you're going to see here, this is with no support abilities equipped. I think their base pools are very comparable. Now, keep in mind that Ruinstern is a really, really strong unit who one-shots a bunch of people, really evadey, worth investing in as a double cost. And our new Sleepy Girl here, she's regular cost, not limited. And let's look at their stats. Okay. HP, she actually has more than him, 3192 to his 2802. I think her HP is very important when we get to looking at some of her other stats and her support abilities later. Having a lot of HP is going to really benefit this girl, and I don't think she's going to be in that one-shot category that Ruinstern finds himself in so much. Let's also look at attack. Base, she has more attack than Ruinstern. Now, before you jump down my throat saying oh yeah, but Ruinstern can run these 2 support abilities, and his attack can get to 600 and something without even gear on. I know. But how do you most often see Ruinstern? You most often see him as an evasion unit, where he's running evasion up support ability and an ability that does raise his attack and also raises his evasion. That's going to keep him in about the same ballpark as our sleepy friend over here with her attack support ability activated. So I think their attack scores are very comparable. Now, she also has 59 agility to his 65. Okay, here's where Ruinstern is going to start separating a little bit. Ruinstern is a faster unit than she is. She can take care of that a little bit. She can boost her agility, and she is very fast. She's just not Ruinstern fast. What else are we looking at here? She does come with the light passive that we're just getting used to from our new units. So she has light attack plus 15. Her pierce resist and her missile resist are very, very high. Conspicuously, she has no slash resist on her board. This is, again, Ruinstern, 20 slash resist. He's pretty good against that. It's just kind of missing, and it's, that's a little alarming. I admit that is a little alarming, but let's throw some of her passives on and see how her stats look then. So here, I put on her agility up and defense penetration passive tune up that she gets from her gunner subjob, and I also put her unique jobs passive on that boosts her attack, and she's at 448 attack and 65 agility. You guys, these numbers are really good. So on paper, she looks like a unit who's going to be able to put out a lot of damage, be fast, and maybe kind of durable. So I already like what I'm seeing, and I already like greatsword units a lot. So instantly, oh, and she looks really cool. FYI, this unit looks awesome. So I'm already intrigued by all of this. Excuse me. If we scroll down a little bit more, we can look at her support abilities and her counter abilities. These are strengths of her, in my opinion. I want to highlight the 2 that I used in those stats you just saw. That is Nightblade Mastery, which gives a 30% attack increase, 25 accuracy, that's a big one, and decreases her evasion rate by 10. Okay, you don't care about the evasion rate with this girl. You're not going to build her as an evade unit. This is where she becomes very different than Ruinstern. Although I think their stats were comparable, how you're going to use these units is not only different, but I think she might be used as kind of a counter to him. Maybe. Except that she has no slash resist, and he still might just kill her in one shot. So I'm not willing to say she's a counter to him specifically yet. But Nightblade Mastery, very good ability. You're getting 25 accuracy and 30% attack for only a 10% decrease in evasion. That is money. Run that all the time. I also like tune-up a lot. 12% agility, awesome on a super fast unit, and defense penetration plus 40. All right, right away, you should be saying, aha, we have a unit here who, by the way, can equip Uldoa's TMR, which gives 50 when it's all the way leveled up. Guys, right there, you're at 90 defense penetration. There you go. You're approaching like true damage no matter what. Well, then you have other. Oh, you're approaching true defense penetration with just one item and one passive ability. That's really good. Okay, her other support abilities, Missile Mastery. I mean, maybe there's a situation where you run that for like PvE. And Providence of Darkness, you might run that if you ever were running her as an anti-evasion unit into Ruin's Turn, because it does boost that dark resist by 12%, and it boosts magic resist by 12%, and you see a ton of little Leelas right now with Ruin's Turns in evasion teams. That's a big thing with her. She's going to be very effective into mixed damage type teams that are specifically running that like calculator, right? Because with Providence of Darkness, she can raise her magic resist, and you're about to see some of her other abilities that can really raise her magic resist. Okay, we'll get there in a minute. Counter moves. Counter swing, yeah, I mean, it's just a regular counter attack move, whatever. I really like Magic Guard on her, because this is, again, it's another way, if you throw her into, you're like, I want her to go be a tank buster with her defense penetration, but with a lot of my units, like let's say Christmas Ramada, you're worried about little Leela randomly just killing her. That's not going to be a problem for our sleepy girl here. She has the tools to not care so much about that like AoE magic damage that's just thrown around all over the place. That's a big strength for her, in my opinion. Okay, let's continue down. I don't want this video to be super long. So let's go to her main job abilities and her Spellblade sub-job, because these are the two, in my opinion, that you're going to want to run most of the time. With her main job, I think they're all pretty good, and I really want to see them all in action before I recommend turning them on and off, with a few caveats. One, being concentration. What I learned today is that concentration, the buff, and the buff from Uldoa's TMR, the defense penetration part of it, do not stack. So you cannot get to like 110 defense penetration by having her passive buffing concentration and popping Uldoa's TMR. You can't do it. So if you're running Uldoa's TMR, you would only be getting slash attack up 40 for you and your allies, which is still reasonably really good, but you would be losing the 20 defense pin because it wouldn't stack with the TMR. It does stack with her passive, though, and so just those two together is already 60, and that's already significant. So it's a really good move. I just wanted everybody to know that. Okay, Drain Rush, super powerful, 3-hit chaining move. Instantly your mind should go to Ramza, instantly your mind should go to PvE, and it's probably pretty dang good in PvP, too. So she has that. Maybe not as huge of a deal as it could be, because if you have access to the Halloween Vision card that gives slash attack resistance penetration, that also gives you a 3-hit attack for greatsword users, but it's still really nice to have that just on her main job. So if later down the line you get another light greatsword user, you can use that card on them instead. She has a healing reduction. She has double resist. How good is this move? 25% missile resist and 25% pierce resist for an AoE buff for your allies and yourself. Oh, that's amazing. You can see how, again, she's just not going to be worried about a lot of these mixed damage teams. Kayn, good luck, dude. She's going to blast you in one shot. Now, Kayn can live by coming with courage, right? But then she'll be able to live through his counterattack and then kill him again. So, really cool. Her main job kit is really cool. I need to see it in action before I can give her like a grade or anything, obviously, but it seems really neat. Okay, Spellblade. Here's my deal with Spellblade. I think you're going to run it with everything off. I don't think she's a tank. I don't think you want her to be a tank. I think she can get her resistances high enough that she can kind of ignore a lot of passive AoE damage, but you're going to do that a lot through her Spellblade abilities. Resist magic, 38% resistance to magic for you and your allies. The move's awesome. And Magic Barrier. She has Magic Barrier. Freaking cool. That's a 50% reduction to magic damage for 3 times. So, she's going to be... Again, she's really good against calculators, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to not, make this too crazy. But here's my, feeling on her. good PvP unit with a lot of potential depending on how her AI works, and a great PvE unit. So if light slash is your thing, I think you should consider going for her. Okay, let's go to Garval here. I'm gonna give him a little accent to his name. We'll go Garval. So stats. I wanted to compare Garval to two units that we've gotten fairly recently. That's Halloween Ryryu, and that's Sakura. So, why them? Well, he's a magic user, right? Like, he scales off of magic like both of them. And so let's look at that stat. He has 398. That's slightly less than Zombie Ryryu base and slightly more than Sakura base. Again, none of these stats are modified by their support abilities. But let's look at HP. He has more than Sakura, slightly less than Zombie Ryryu. You can kind of see a trend here. Now, Sakura has like her insane buffs that she brings. Her kit's really good, but one of her weaknesses is she is very mitigatable by magic resist. In fact, when I'm running my magic resist teams, I hunt for like Sakura tank calculator because they just can't hurt me. Zombie Ryryu does not fall victim to that so much because a lot of his damage, even though it scales with magic, is slashing based. So you would need slash resistance and spirit to mitigate him, whereas with Sakura, you just need a ton of magic resist and spirit helps too. Garval is very much like Ryryu. You can look at the rest of their stats really quick, but I want to move on to the next part. Let's look at we're going to skip, we'll come back to his support abilities in a second, but let's first go to his main job skills. Okay, he has this weird mix of magic damage scaling ranged attack abilities. So like it's missile magic, chi shot. It's spelled like chi shot. I'm going to call it chi shot. Ranged attack, 120% damage. You can see from that like symbol on the left that it's magic based, but you can see from that symbol on the right next to damage that it's projectile. So he's the first guy I think we have that does that. That's pretty cool. Detonation Blast and Twin Chi Rupture. These are true magic attacks. These are things that are mitigatable by magic resist. However, look at the damage on Twin Chi Rupture. 245%. Ouch. Now the AP cost is steep, but he gets a nice little starting AP boost because he's a magic user and they get that. So you need to know on this guy when you're running him. Do you want him using his missile attacks? Do you want him using his magic attacks? And kind of plan that into your calculations. If you look at his Energist sub-job ability, he has Chi Shot Flurry, which is actually a 2-hit, nice ranged, missile-based magic attack. Neat. One other thing I want to highlight on him is Chi Barrier. It is a great skill. Where Sleepy Girl had the magic barrier, he has the physical version. It reduces physical damage by 50% for 3 times to himself. He can cast it twice, and it costs 40 TP. So it's good for generating AP, which is good for him because he has expensive abilities, and it's going to help him survive physical damage. I'm not going to say most, but a lot of the really good anti-magic units also happen to deal magic damage. You can run this guy against physical units, right? Who aren't going to be able to tank your magic as well, hopefully. Like, I know Agres is out there and she's going to be a problem. But he's going to be able to deal with their physical damage with his barrier. That's super good. This is one of my favorite moves that Paladins have. They have this shield for themselves as well. And he gets it on his new, like, ranged job, which is pretty hype. I like ranged units with this shield. And he's not, like, honestly that really that ranged. If we go back up to his support abilities here, let's look at those next. So Hyper Vitality is the one that everybody's going to be focused on, and I think rightfully so. For the first 5 turns of a fight, he'll get 30% increased agility, 60% increased magic, and 60% dexterity. So he's going to be fast, he's going to hit hard, and he's going to crit. And it'll help his accuracy. Yeah, that's good. Like, anybody who doesn't see that as good is kind of silly. Now, yes, it does run out after 5 turns, but a 5-turn steroid is better than any buff you see cast. Most of those are 3 turns long. Yeah, that's amazing. Then he has 2 magic up. Okay, those are good. Initial AP up. I think his initial AP is high enough. I wouldn't worry about that. Light Spirit Blessing. This is going to give him spirit which is interesting, and light resistance. So, okay, that's good. And then he has Mage's Protection for magic resistance. So he has some options there to help him deal with magic as well. And if we remember, his base magic resist was actually -10. So, you know, if you're finding yourself in some magic situations, you might consider those. His counterattacks, you guys, this is an all-you-can-eat buffet of good counterattacks. He doesn't have reflex all, but he has 2 different reflexes that work for physical or magic. So you don't have ultimate reflex, which I just made up, where you reflex everything. But if you know you're going to fight physical, you can run hyper reactivity and have physical reflex. If you know you're going to fight magic, you can run magic reflex and reflex that. And then, if you want to, you can run Steel Ephemeral Form, which is all damage and a 20% chance to just take 30% less of it. You guys, all 3 of those are amazing. They're all really great. I will probably try and pick and choose the teams I fight and run one of the reflexes, because that's such an overpowered ability, right? So, okay, good. Now look at the bottom of the screen. His basic attack is a magic scaling projectile attack with a range of like 3 squares. So he doesn't punch. He like air punches. He like punches from a distance and you feel it hit you in the face a second later because he's like flinging his fist through the air. Really cool. These are good traps, I would say. Like, yeah, I know I use the word trap, and I use that word because it's right before the anniversary, but man, these units are cool. Okay, let's go to his other sub-job real quick that I want to talk about. Kodadama Wielder. Sakura is the only other one who has this right now, I believe. It has good moves. His damage moves from this sub-job all scale as magic moves. They're not projectile, they're magic. But this is a 100% hit in here. There is the Heartlight Needles buff, which is for him and his allies. Magic attack up 25, spirit penetration 20. That's pretty good. You might consider running this sometime, especially if you don't care about him using his projectile moves from his other sub-job. Or you could just put him in Red Mage and use Jamming Thrust, because Red Mage is cool and it has Jamming Thrust, and it also has some heals in it. So if you want him to like heal some people, if his AI will do that, and Jamming Thrust from a long way away, hey, you have that option with Red Mage too. Real quick, his Limit Break, 200% damage, piercing attack, hits in a straight line, decreases spirit by 30 for 3 turns for your targets, and increases his spirit penetration by 50. So he's not going to be concerned with spirit, especially if he's using Heart-like Needles buff, and then dropping his Limit Break on people. That's going to be pretty insane. So that's kind of my initial thought. Now I want to talk about, like, should you consider pulling these? And this video is already approaching like 18 minutes, and I apologize for that. I didn't want to go that long. It's really late. But here we go. First of all, am I going to pull for them? Yes. I kind of hinted at that at the beginning of the video. I think they're really cool. I've been looking forward to especially our Sleepy Girlfriend for a long time. So that's an easy question. But should you, right? Okay. If you are planning on focusing your account a lot around like Super Mama Leonis, right? Black Mage Helena, who's coming down the line, Garval here looks like a great partner for her. He also is a dark unit. He also scales with magic, and I think there's some really good opportunities for synergy with them. So if that's your like in-game plan, and there's really good banners to pull for Garval, get him. You don't have to rush build him, but do his board. You know, get started on him now. So maybe when Helena comes out, you're done with him and you're ready to have your black magic team. Cool. Sleepy Girl. She's the one who I think she's going to be a really good unit, but only pull for her if you really want her. She's going to be slightly trickier to use than a lot of units, in my opinion, and she's not going to be super meta defining. Now, if your whole account is light slashing and that's how you clear all your PvE content, then I think you want her. She has that 3-hit move. She's going to work good with our friend Ramza. Yeah, okay, cool. Go for her if that's you. But if not, and you're saving for Final Fantasy X and the anniversary, yeah, stay strong, okay? It's so close. If you've just been saving and saving, don't cave now, okay? This game is going to be so fun for so many people in like 2 weeks, and I would hate to see anybody ruin that chasing for a unit or a vision card or something now. So That's what I got for you guys this morning. I'm going to post this video basically as soon as it's done loading. And hopefully it's in time for you to see it before you decide to pull or not. And yeah, hey, if you do decide though to go for them and you need some Amazon coins, please consider using my link. It helps me out a ton. And hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.